The pursuit of perfection is a story we've all been told. From a young age, we're taught to color within the lines, to follow instructions, to avoid mistakes at all costs. In our careers and our personal lives, we often find ourselves hesitating at the starting line, waiting for the right moment, the perfect plan, or just one more skill to make us ready. But here's a truth that transformative individuals discover. The real catalyst for progress, growth, and innovation isn't perfection. It's imperfect action.
Work life today.
Think about the greatest achievements you admire. Creations, companies, ideas, even relationships. Rarely did any of them launch fully formed or flawless. Every masterpiece was once a messy draft. Every thriving business started as a sketch on a napkin. Groundbreaking journeys begin with uncertain first steps. Yet when we glance at the end results, we often overlook the messy, imperfect process that made them possible. We see only the polished surface, not the determined hands chipping away at uncertainty, fear, and trial and error. Imperfect action is the force that turns dreams into reality. It's the courage to try when you're not sure, to speak when your voice trembles, to launch your project before it's finished, knowing full well that mistakes are not the enemy, they are the teachers. When we take the leap, even when conditions aren't quite right, we gain something invaluable: momentum. Momentum comes from movement. Each imperfect step, no matter how small or hesitant, generates a ripple. One attempt leads to another. You learn what works and what doesn't, and with each iteration, your idea becomes clearer, your path more defined. Perfection, on the other hand, is paralyzing. It keeps you endlessly planning, revising, doubting, and holding your best work back from the world. While you wait for perfect, opportunities slip away. So why do we all cling so tightly to perfection? Often it's fear of criticism, of failure, of not measuring up. This fear masquerades as prudence, convincing us that we just need a little bit more before we start. But what if the very thing you're waiting for, confidence, clarity, skill, only comes through taking action? What if the courage to move forward, despite your doubts, is exactly what you need to grow? Consider the stories of some of the most influential people of our time. J.K. Rowling's manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by publisher after publisher before being accepted. Did she know the first book would eventually spark a global phenomenon? No, she started imperfectly, with doubt and uncertainty, but she kept moving forward. Steve Jobs released the first iPhone riddled with technical limitations. He could have waited years for the perfect phone, but instead, he launched early and learned from the feedback. Each version that followed was better, precisely because the first imperfect version existed. The essence of imperfect action is not recklessness or carelessness. It's not about dismissing quality or neglecting effort. Rather, it's about recognizing that you don't need to have everything figured out to begin. Action is the antidote to doubt. It's the bridge between potential and reality. Each step you take reveals new information, and what you learn along the way becomes the most valuable part of the journey. Embracing imperfect action also means embracing vulnerability. When you put your work, your ideas, or even yourself into the world, you risk being judged and misunderstood. But you also give yourself the chance to connect, to inspire, and to grow. Imagine a workplace where people felt free to experiment, to speak up before their ideas were fully formed. Innovation would skyrocket. Morale would climb. Problem-solving would become faster and more creative. When we accept that mistakes are a natural part of progress, we create an environment where real breakthroughs happen. If you look at high-performing teams, strong leaders, or thriving creative communities, you'll find one value in common: a bias toward action. They value movement over perfection, iteration over paralysis. They foster a culture where it's safe to try and, yes, to fail, because every failure, every misstep, is just another step on the path to something better. Success is not a straight line. It's a winding road paved with lessons learned and risks taken. So how do you bring the power of imperfect action into your own life? Begin by recognizing where perfection is holding you back. Is there a project you haven't started because you're waiting for one more credential, one more piece of research? Is there a conversation you're avoiding because you're worried you might say the wrong thing? Is there a dream you've quietly shelved because you don't feel ready? Now challenge yourself to lower the bar, at least at the start. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Take one small step today, no matter how rough around the edges. Draft that email, post that first video, make the phone call, sketch the outline, and then, importantly, learn from what happens. Adjust, refine, and try again. See your failures as valuable data points, not indictments of your worth or potential. Celebrate each risk you take, each attempt you make, because they are the true markers of growth. Over time, you'll find that taking action becomes easier. Your confidence will grow, your skills will sharpen, and your vision will clear. You'll realize that perfection was never the goal. It was just a mirage, keeping you from real progress. Remember, the world rarely rewards those who play it safe and wait for perfect. It rewards the doers, the triers, the resilient dreamers who show up, imperfections and all. What you create doesn't have to be flawless to matter. Sometimes the smallest imperfect stone can start the largest ripple. Embrace imperfect action as your most reliable ally on the path to fulfillment, creativity, and contribution. Let go of the need to have every answer, to be utterly prepared. Stand at the edge of your comfort zone and take the leap. With each imperfect step, you shape a life and a work that is authentic, courageous, and uniquely yours.
So, wherever you are today, whatever you've been hesitating to start, waiting for the right time, remember, the right time is now. Start before you're ready. Show up with your flaws and your doubts. Turn your intention into motion. Trust in the journey. Believe in your capacity to grow. And let the power of imperfect action move you closer to your dreams than perfection ever could.